I say who they left the bank governor. And now Ellen McDavis they come. President's bill. He been take part in a high-level session for discuss global challenges to waiting food security. Food security. Mame Conte say the Pamine when they sign MOU for in pricing just they go up. He said what we expect of him next year. Now that I know, say bush fall and they fly. Alright. Food security. We just discussed about the bank governor, the Ministry of Agriculture, Trade and Industry, how they all go come in inside agriculture. No, seriously though. With how you they see things they go. If they support this administration, no. If not today they support you. If you know they no say you. Not to wait and talk. Not to wait and talk. But just in looking at how things they go in our country. How serious you feel say this administration day for tackle food security? The same food security where President Bio go Doha, saying go take part by high level session. It tell we say, who say be go na Indonesia or Vietnam? Eh? How serious are we? Do all them thing them on paper? Not if Salon tell you say, then they do this. No quick for buy two. Keep your money. Just ask him. Because if na on paper, he did you. Think about something already. Hey, one way or the other, will be done pass ID on paper. But now the implementation, now the problem. Implementation is a problem. Past administration, this administration, and no now for future administration them. Because any time we say money business guy for day, my dear, would they cook the books? Will they cook the books for make we meet up that one day? If they say money there for low income and malnourished and deprived, hey, would they make clear malnourished would deprive so that we go able to meet up that one day, that money day? Yeah. If they say money there for plant 1 million trees, would they go cut 1 million so that money go come for plants? Not so yeah. We don't do anaya what the UK say about how much football field. Where they say the trees they where they cut in the salon. We just want for Jerusalem money day. Let make yourself available. Let meet up the mark. MCC say waiting. Where the scorecard can they pass? Because waiting no MCC they give money or they meet up yonder. We now country in a so day. One day today, we are the best, we are the first ever. We meet up this one, we don't do this, we don't do that there. The next moment, well, we are low income, we not get nothing. All side. So salon, it just depends on how you wake the money. How you wake the money, no? Who they meet up all side, all team who they meet up. Who they meet up the gentleman side, who they meet up the poor man side. Who they meet up the diamond side all. Yes, that's so we don't continue in there. You just tell me no more say money there under. You just tell me so. Let's see how they make up till we meet up on the threshold on I put Mm-hmm. Now they do teen them, where they make pikin and not go school. Now they do teen them back, where they make say put law say all pikin for go school. Now they do teen them back, we go make say where the pikin. Now we they do all teen. Eh? And say free quality education. Any pikin and catch na street. Where school Leone. Any pikin and catch na street in parents they suffer. Couche. Go na market. Kolo atade, plastic de. All. So for President Bill, for come talk about the challenges to food security. Eba umita. Umita pa. For challenges. For food security. Umita pa. How they buy so 600,000. The land they big. Open big. Say no. Government don't carry with the tractors them. Then they under an institution where private business them. Where you want, you go rent unto them. Where you don't, you come. Okay. Alright. Now so. Go na some village, previous administration. You see the tractor them back now then a demand then chief then compound. Most village then where you reach the chief in compound, tractor did it. You know? Only we minister the way they say then they do where they claim say then get farm. Go watch then get tractor. You know, actually see me swamp is big, eh? Me say if I want plant rest, but I can't without doing it mechanized. I get that term this safe. Do I have the land? Yes, I do. Eh? Mama Conte say there has never been a government who is serious about food security in our country. We don't get government who is serious about food security today. What's the difference between bread and butter and food security? Ibrahim tell us, some years ago, we forefathers them, they not be depend on government for import rice. But why not today all Jack and Jill and they blame government for feed them? Hey, Papa God. You know, say government get responsibility. Ibrahim Tale. You be there just what they outline. Waiting we they go through as farmers there. You know, say government at the shoulder where we supposed for lean on. Eh? You say now all Jack and Jill blame government for feed them. Because government ain't the papa. Now ain't gonna make things easy na the house. We're not supposed for buy 600,000. What thing government they do? For make we not buy 600,000. Because we can't, if person no eat rest for the day, say no eat it. And now, before breakfast, been there in a salon. Right now, even the morning, the rest people they want for it. The morning, the rest they want it. You get your picking house. Eh? What see they do? For get you picking attention. For make it see reason. For do the right thing. Eh? This not the reason we make the government not go take their responsibility. I saw Philo Ibrahim. This is not the reason. Because the government forbid the shoulder war for Leone. The enabling environment. There are certain things. You didn't just know how they talk about goats and sheep, the breeds them. The one that will get na salon, you don't done. Them breeds and they're not correct again. We need new breeds them for come. For increase we meat markets. Fish show, you don't hear the fisherman there waiting and they tell you, say fish no day. What are we doing? Now government in responsibility. Eh? We not say for Fido. Say that they can't put it on the table. No. Then forbid the shoulder where they lean on. Oh, that number there, where if you want for know how for plant something, where you call that number there, then go show you how for planter. Because we're not ready for do mechanized farming yet. Then farming how we all do. We're not ready for feed yourself yet. We're not ready yet. Government past, government present, I don't know for future. They always done the play with agriculture. Nobody not take and serious yet. Nobody. President maybe say every minister forget farm. I must we get farm. You get farm safe. Not of a plan. We want for suicide they harvest. We want for suicide you they harvest. Even if you get bad harvest, let us see them. Eh? Let us see them. Who get Minister of Agriculture? Minister of Agriculture for the work alongside the Ministry of Health and Sanitation. Eh? We get for do with to health, so that we go get healthy citizens them, and we know what in we they prioritize. You know when last on us eat beef na salon? Beef. Cow beef. You know when last? So us eat na pan business no money they eat. They need a cooker. They need a cooker. How much price don't go now? Waiting at the nutrition values when they teach with people them. Eh? Waiting at the nutrition value the way we sabi. All we sabi na yes. Yes. Hey, salon. And at this food security we talk about. Eh? The moderator na be Zainab Al-Bakir. He be turned to President Bill. He ask him say, what's in take on the impact on climate change on agriculture? I not ask you. Okay. He asked President Bill, what's in take on the impact of climate change on agriculture? Agriculture? Yeah. What's in President Bill saying? He said the erratic weather pattern now they affect the agricultural sector. He said lately, But who side in the flood? He said because of that, it will impact how we can quickly produce food for we people then. He said waiting. Hey, Daddy God. Waiting are you take on climate change on agriculture? Well, this erratic weather pattern they affect the agricultural sector. And lately, we see beaucoup flooding. And that one the impact how we go quickly produce food for we people them. Whose people then so? And whose flooding will happen na other in farm? What they produce for we safe? Who side so? Eh? Now just the ask, I want to know. I don't say no happen no. But I want to know who side this flooding happen. Where President Bill they tell the world say it impact how they able quickly produce food. Now kitchen yon food they talk. Eh? He say maybe outside the flooding happen and then a kitchen they cook. Eh? Eric Peter Pine say he said the main reason for food insecurity in a salon now because most of the young people them they don't work in a farm. When be then about the home, and secondary school in the 80s, they not be the import rest. We yes with the produce in a salon because the people them be engaged in farming. Today, not so the case. Correctly right. So I'll go turn that one day. How we go turn this one we talk so now? You correctly right, Eric Peter Pine. How we go turn? Waiting the government go do? Which kind of incentive? Waiting we go do for make the people them, the young one then left this Okada business and kind of farm? Okay. When President Bill they talk about the state of agriculture inside Salone, he say we get for Fenway for strike a balance between sustainable agriculture, the one we go support the environment, and the one we go able for produce enough. That's what you see. You are here back. He said we get for find a way for strike a balance between sustainable agriculture. That one we go they take go. The one we go able to support the environment and we go able for produce enough. If you watch Nami Farm, waiting with people then sabi na for just clear what they say for Russia. Cut all the tick them Russia. No. As long as that tick nothing we way for what to want do we dey save them. As long as that we dey save them. That's what I do. All right. Indigenous method of food production it will be paramount. It's inside Salone. We get the most condition necessary for make we go able for embark on food security. That will country Salone. This is the president behind the talk. Hey, Peter Pan, listen what the presidency. He said, but we need certain infrastructure and support system in place. This na the thing that we make in talk say. This one not to President Bill for talker, now we for talker. Now the thing I can get with people in authority. You are there, then certain thing and the support system. I just be the talk now. Just now say the government for be the shoulder, for be the support where we need. That be the talk now. Just now. No, President Bill never provide them. Yes, what I mean President Bill in cabinet. Yeah, he gets minister where they in charge of agriculture. Now they for provide that support. The president now for source suicide the money de comment. He said I make it fly. So him for source and fly. Yeah? We get the most condition necessary for embark on food security in our country. But we need certain infrastructure and support system in place. Well, infrastructure and support system, now them for provide them. We don't talk them. We don't go talk inside the talker. No. He don't sign and for provide them. Like for say, the people and say, then we need certain infrastructure and support system in place, and we don't provide them. Bam. Aha. Let we not go make good use of that support system there and that infrastructure there. Let we not go make good use of her. That thing that you go say, but the government don't do this and this and this and this and that. We not do nothing. But if the president the talker, we the talker, well, who would they look to now? Who do for look to? Now me want know. If the same crowd they cry, now the same cry the president they cry, well, akbole, now in that. Me no go cry, yourself cry. Left the cry, give me. But if we say the kind way and manner who say famine they right now na salon, na just the little things that what would they do now? Go gap them up, a boom. You know they work so. Bank governor don't tell me. You know they work so. But when people from this administration sit down and they begin to say, oh, even oil with the export, even this with the export. Yeah. Some can say, oh, let's talk to how they talk about. And I mean, say no good paramo. He said that just because everybody don't turn attention for politics. Then they work for party interest rather than they work for the country interest. Because then they think say about 5 years just not 10 years see power left, waiting will happen. When I let the people that ask we, what you don't know for we self. So anything we then catch now for themselves and their family. And this we deeper. But what thing happen though? But this main one, who President Bill talk. Alright. President Bill for be the fixer. Let me the complain, let him fix. But me on talk. No. Let him provide the answer for we. The infrastructure and the support system what we need. While they provide them. There you go see. A lot of people waiting at the diaspora back want for do farming. Not to for say people at the diaspora no want to do farming, no. People want to do farming. But how? How we go do it? Alright. Welcome on Baru's friend. You saw me for the week, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, Triple A, for giving the platform, and thanks a lot for talk with through all through the week what happen. I mean, on summary for the week, most events they don't happen a lot, but mostly political challenge they happen. So, outside government and they challenge them for say within our food security, within government they respond. We all come down to political thinking and diplomatic thinking. These are the challenge where they see government they get, how the politician they think towards then diplomatic relation with them they get, or who said them they go sign MOU, or who said them they try for go ask them for present and waiting them they say they. But here now, a lot of just address this area of agriculture, as you say. If you they see a way what the political thinking, the fund we come in terms of the donor funds and other things, we will say the first thing we will not say food security and agriculture now one of the main engine, like I just say. And that one day they make economic growth today. But if we see the private sector, what you talk of so, because like you know, one of the private sector, not a sector where you say they go open like private sector we are in, you get telecom, they come, then they become private and they try for rip up the people and in some way. Yeah, like private sector we in development and growth. So they're not actually develop that area of the private sector. In other words, not a well funded and well developed. So that area then one thing we then get for look into. But you look again the yield what the country been they get in Oboku. So in other words, if they get the domestic demand for rice, and rest now been the staple food, even though we try for encourage people and for get a diverse meal of food. But here is the demand for the domestic it been exceed. You see, because it been they exceed the supply, and the supply will not really produce more for supply. So what think government they do? They subsidize that 400,000 metric tons, wey for meet up the population wey dem dey demand am. Because in other words, in average na like the statistic dey say about 185 kg wey na im one person go able for consume from wetin we dey produce na salon. So because for let dem go full up that gap dey, dem dey always try for say dem dey order rest out. But the other way, when are the other mathematics wey dem dey fail for do, like see the kind of atomic bomb now we dey see blue tech na UK they can try for bring development dey we no know whose method wey dey apply. But the point here is looking at the population and looking at the math and the tons and wetin you dey put per that hectare dey. Because we own production per hectare presently na 1 metric ton per hectare, and it is still less. So now bring up to the point where they see the demand it exceed the production. And annually, I mean, each hectare, if you look at a good production, say like area like Egypt, and they get about then 14, then 10, 11 per hectare, depending how you develop and the type of soil, but and the seed system. But we now one, so in now we get a deficit of over 6 tons per hectare. So you dey see they really minister they say they don't make farming sef, minister for agriculture don't get farm, but this na always the numbers are never shown. I don't use this, I don't plant this, now I don't this don't cost na this amount of people and this go able feed. So once that mathematics is not working, now the area that one day we will still they say we still they get people and they come, except during this process people then get involved, then they become unconscious, everybody just do it, and then they reach the point where in totally because all man don't just come in hand. But for let the government go see them go put and let things that they get for look into, if then they make the gap for fill up while then they encourage farmers and for come. But that gap they always they we have doubt how they will be able to deal with them. So that now one area how government will get for look into. There's a lot in it, but those are just a few things. But looking at again the other area where then they talk say then they make relationship in terms of helping this international relation or an memorandum of understanding for let who get trade with the UK. You get for look into many things we could govern there. Because in that area they now will not say UK then say they try for get African investment something meeting when they get it next year. But in between, then get another one who something to do with development in terms of areas for kind of a convention for do investors them. They get investors they wouldn't get for meet up for do all this trade. But here is the area where would they get your own political module who they will get for try for some this partner would they put for who meet up this trade. They don't can sign this a memorandum of understanding. Now waiting we get now they expect we follow will put input towards the not to anything they expect we the only we expect we waiting will put in place follow who can meet up this particular memorandum of understanding. So he left to waiting the trade minister and waiting the international one day would in terms of foreign affairs, the embassies they all involved as we say who get for put in place strategies and for meet up them things there for can meet up the English business when they do. Because we know the situation where they undergo now. So it's up to you for identify areas them. They need vegetable because there are areas of vegetable they come on North Africa and Tunisia, some in Spain, and recently they can get like a shortage of vegetables where they even the money to people how they buy vegetable now. And finally, just last week, they uplift the ban. We go to the supermarket and they ration not for buy this amount of vegetables because of many reasons. So they don't feel that in place for do the EU and all those kind of things. But the trade blunder, we don't blunder. So they find a way out of it now. So when we say if we're able, clever enough for kind inside the trade, we go able because Kenya be done they produce so like flowers. The flower that we see that in Tesco or the supermarket, now Kenya they produce, but it all come to the memorandum understand what you una see there and what you now able for crave for supply. Because even the government get for change them because then all this we don't know how far they will go. That are the UK side, but then they always follow policy where they don't know so then they develop the country because all man they look beside trade, so they don't go. The one you not go come on. So that one is a still deal. But the point is how we now go able for put in place, we now trade rules them, we now trade policies the way we now get, the trade conditions where Salon get, we go able for meet up this international trade where they get for can lead me to. But it all comes down to either the think tank or get for look into things there for able to encourage some of una or the one they would into these areas for people sell them produce, not to then they expect to them will begin to sell. Now we now then they give door for long will begin to sell. But waiting will get for sale based on the prices and based on waiting we know about them and waiting we know say they need we will able for produce for meet up them and the value of waiting will they sell to them. So we will know the value chain. We know how the markets, the world market they go with the demand of that produce. There is more to that so that then we're able to promote that side. Then you break down the areas of that memorandum of understanding where they may design. You see an area where in the political thinking and diplomacy been they get hiccups, even they get like a kind of delays in terms of waiting and they try for put in place, then something they delay because of somebody they come with your own political way for think where you know they balance with waiting the values them of that particular meeting they say waiting the people and they say about the point of they look at the value of one thing, then they look at something who can put in place. Because when you see the foreign minister have been going purposely for international women and girls strategy, because this girls strategy now the document where you signed for 2023 and 2030, then are the primary reason, and they back up for kind of a fact-finding mission for go look waiting and don't do at the hospital and the schools. So based on that one, then I use the privilege with other things and we attach. But with this document, we they don't sign, and based on the question time what I've been seeing recently was last week in a parliament, when they asked the prime minister about what they do about people, women, and rights in the world. So now commit say they give 200 and something million dollars value towards that project today. Now Afghanistan, other countries, and then Salon back in the one fund there. So that the document this then Kerbo and Salon go launch because one is an opportunity for them for go visit, an opportunity for go, and then during this process, he signed the memorandum of understanding. But what I try for bring here is the flippant and way people and the analyze, because when they see some flippant statement where come into a form of a laziness, you know, laziness for how you were able to pass your message. When they see somebody like Silver Blinding this time for pass a message, he do something good, but he do it in the wrong way for project them, and they find a way for women their rights. And then they talk about women their rights, But in the turn and the other way of political thinking, where to me, I go just say, if you like say, it is smell political gunpowder. It like political gunpowder in bring it to that scene day for just can't use and for shoot and cause problem in that particular atmosphere day. Because that atmosphere nobody call for political gunpowder. If they call for diplomacy, where then go look at people and go bring their sense and suggest and even suggest, say, well, what about what they make Pamai? What about what they begin to this? Or waiting and waiting, ask the questions that will relate to the trade where the people and they do. And then, if not diplomacy now, you will find another way for beginning the comments. Because in the question how they are, they say, well, what are the benefits where you will get for giving flippant and lazy, unhelpful statements then? Because if not unhelpful statements and laziness in terms of passing the message, then you go say, waiting the law where they try for bring inside, will get for interpret now two balancing you they bring. They bring the balancing law for say now they look into the Vienna where then get a convention about diplomatic relationship. Now they try for bring so. Actually, when you look at the Vienna Convention, there is actually a section with an Article 41 inside the diplomacy and the relationship with the day between a government and the consul them and so on. So, but you look and say yes, they talk about involvement, but you don't see say it fit in by that particular incident of somebody where they go like a particular tweet and that become undiplomatic. And again, in the context. Because now three main questions again you want to see during this discussion. Now a very thing will be look complicated. During this discussion, now three questions. The first person, I think it was Umar Fofana. The after Umar Fofana, I think somebody one who ask her, I feel where you gonna na bo. So he didn't get for mention about the emotion. He talk about the woman, the rights. Now he explain about what he expect say the government therefore do about woman them. Where if he say they do anything worse than a quotation. He said, but they always they find a way. And after I just done this speech, I commend the woman then say that woman they will fit in that they in this blood they come up with this question. So if you see the man they answer, now you must answer them to you as a diplomat. And the diplomacy we see, he expect una no go involve on our politics, we they try to see how we go build and we can inside without going for help. So it become like a area where they bring the breach of the Vienna Convention. But if you look now the interpretation of the law, you go see what thing you go draw, you go draw back, say, okay, well, if we camp, we will not for just look into diplomacy, if say like a one for make a volatile where in a sensitive area, though you not go that side, then go see, well, what about the human rights framework about Vienna? And that human rights Vienna fundamental freedom where people can forget where the protection of the responsibility of the government will protect the human rights. So you see, you get for look about when in case you want for say at the grass this person here or I want for come give case behind this person here or na betrayal. See, so you would try for betray now. What you they betray? You can't portray the message of what's in the way. You know what all they say, the area of political thinking, now in people can get for the try for look how it go useful for fit into developmental programs instead of diplomacy where they know understand and fit in diplomacy. And diplomacy they come always, then they come in. They always they come, but then they come with a formula, each stage would then come. So there's stages and the development plans and areas they wouldn't go see the need for can't give una policies follow and areas they wouldn't go see with the open doors follow una do business, una get for how they fit it. But if there is always in any community, you get the one they always they can say they pull the safety pin, like the handle of the grenade follow will always shoot them. Those are not the development plan. Now those are not they come. Like we didn't say that they come for solve the problem. They employ you in that policy making. They employ you into that strategy, or you get employed in there for volunteer. But when you get employed, like he can get employed in that memorandum of understanding. He say in no one for send a person for can listen. Now for instance, forcing way for Canada meeting, they begin they talk a lot. Now come to the one where Ingo put in the picture for let go passing message user as a subject. Now the person when they talk about subject, this problem will be discussed about the pollution of plastics. But now there is another one where the disaster management where they don't try for write a report. And this report now from a group owner Bournemouth, then they try for sponsor them university. They don't do the first one, when they show areas there. But they always they suggest to government say then get forget a balance wherein they go get forget the local community. In other words, now a single point of failure of view. Then they make a single point for saying they look the area where government be failing, the community where they make people and they get disasters them, where they cause them problem in terms of NDMA for involved. So they don't write this report. Then they get the other group again when they talk about the Center of Dialogue for Human Settlement and Freedom. Then get the slum dwellers. Then they even get a meeting on Monday involving the World Bank, involving the mayor, involving other donor partners, involving the lands and minister, the development minister, all those areas. Then they can meet up sometime this week where they come for let them go put strategies in place based on the approach and the data driven. Who said that the data? The data come up from the mayor and these slum dwellers, where for the first time they say then they acknowledge say this mayor where they come out so now the only person we don't ever involve in small slum dwelling activities. You know what the projects we don't do that only because of maybe a deficiency of income or money or funds. That was it. But now the only one. So now part of the committee that they set up now for look into the development of the types of disaster they would they drive for curtail and drive for coordinates alone. So you go compare these two characters, I go balance them in development. There is somebody who they get the pulling down syndrome, and they get those who they try for sale or push before. But it all comes down to how people and they think. When they think the political thinking of competition, it depends how they put it now. But if then they transform every day in terms of competition for pull one person, and during the process of removing, you deter development. So you don't even know say they pull development aside and they go up and war. See a war of politics. So this is what I always want for politicians. Then go take an easy where they go they look at anything and then they deal with diplomacy and the one day where they go there for go help because then they go there for go make their portfolio. Then one thing they see. And again, for what come up behind there, and when they will talk, so it will be difficult because of the way where the relationship done, they build up. In the end, they might just be winners. So you see, we don't say there are unfairness in certain things. There are things when they go about it's up to our policy, like how they can say they go buy, they go sell, maybe they can't buy, we know how they work there. Because then self now then trade is very difficult. The interest rate and corporate tax is coming from 17% to 25%, according to the bank in the UK here. So all those things you get to understand. Well, if corporate tax they come, I get for those business I can sell and buy here. So tomorrow I not go begin for the name say in they can make in way, but see they don't sell me as an ambassador. Una the man, una the James Clever, I go do you work because if you follow in the man James Clever, and I'm all very active on the social media. And I'm all like for showcase, but it's a bit talk too much. But there are other issues for a side thing because these are development we talk about now, we in get now, but we will see say political thinking is very good at bringing for the thing. They know where they play the dice, when like dice who they play game. Just they run the dice, say we will win a tuma bomb rise, pung we send if na 6 cam, well, you lost. If na 3 cam, with the day the dice playing, we're not gonna be winning because our luck would they play, other than we get forget that relationship would they get. So that's the only thing about cross-border relationship. We've been talking about that younger. Well, it's up to the diplomacy and waiting and get for look how then we get for monitor that joint operation center operation. I more than get for develop that joint operation center with the monitor in borders them. So then get for look into that so that political way not go can affect something we will develop. We thank you very much. Let God help the nation and help the country and lead us for help, please, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Usfriend.
Yes,
Well, I want to say thanks to Usfriend for Ion submission today and summary for the week. Welcome on board, Alpha. Your summary for the week, sir.
Yeah, Triple A, thanks for bringing me on board again. I want to say big thank you to Mr. Osprey and of course yourself. At least today, don't give me some lectures again on the agricultural sector and how government for able to invest. I want to start for give me a summary of the week, and I will get one new fresh one I want for talk on. The first one we'll talk on inside this week. We'll talk about EDSA, the poor supply within the gear of light, where they say, well, now because of human interference to the supply business, and then today we talk on that. And I may bring up the issue of people paying meter for the meter or paying bills them way they know they get the light and heads are also they make mention say they know they collect better money. I may also draw the attention of heads or the public say most government entity they know they pay light bill. I make mention of the barracks, then the police barracks, the military barracks, them. Another thing we'll talk on this week where they go down, we'll talk about the ACC, then press release where they say them for arrest that EAP group of companies, the leader also, because then most of the things they do now, they find out say they falsify so many things them, and of course the man gets so many passports them. Yeah, we talk on that one day. Another thing we'll talk on for this week we just do they done so. We talk about the plastic container or containing roads them. Now the way they in a road them boku one we for me I may just brand them up for the garbage within a free tongue in general. We make mention of the things that we government for put in place. We for ensure say they're able for support and able for reduce the sewage or then garbage things then they will they see so na free tongue. That will lead me to something where somebody say na the text line on our chat group. You say why first we forefathers they normally depend on government. Something just and click in my mind make I say "La, bring this one. I think if this person familiar with history, I think 1898 where we get the odd tax war. Yeah, first time people normally pay tax to government. People may depend on themselves. Now that make them the born boku picking them for work farm and then thing and day. Because of modernization and civilization, we see say they now if you ask young man where they will come up, you say almost speaking one, but they tell you say something two. Some man will say one. Some man, not to like a tradition they born 10, 15. No, nope, nope. They again. So tradition don't change, modernization don't take place. Now we they pay tax, whether they go collect the tax. Now the government, they not just collect tax. So they therefore utilizing tax then they. Now that make you get government responsible for the people. So they are not doing good for we. Now that you see, let we learn this or let us pass this message to people. Government's not to do we good, then they do we favor. It's not true. Government go make lights, we begin celebrate, we begin dance. It's not so. It should not be like that. It's their responsibility. That's why we put them there in the to a position of trust. Yeah, they are they are at the aim of the affairs of we state resources. Now that make people they kill themselves for people go in a position. You know what I mean? You get now, the bank governor. You know what they mean? All resources now you they oversee them. Now you they do this. Now you they make policies them. This it's very important. So we lives then at the hands of the government. Anything where them fail by they affect hundreds of people. Let we know that one day today. Certain thing and they will okay one friend and excuse this how we can put our government for this. Sierra Leone in particular. Yeah, quote me any side. Any government where we now they control 90% of the resources in the country. The position where private people and get for play now limited. Yeah, who's private policy see they collect tax? No, that government they collect tax. Go all the areas where they collect tax. All na government, all. So we have to hold them accountable and responsible for the recklessness, the kind of people in the live na Sierra Leone. No, most people they die in hospital. Who that we for call? Should we call say that this? No, angry then declare Sierra Leone as one of the most hungry country in Africa. Who should we call? It's the government. Whether one kind of power, they will give you all kinds with much, all kinds of things. Besides, this government campaign on this angry business. Yeah, the thing we pull APC in a power now that angry boku etolongbo no go sidoya. What are we seeing now? The hunger has in fact quadruple. Yeah. So we tell this government too. Sometimes that they can pain way people want to justify wrong things the way the government they do. Angry then quadruple na also. Some man they go now one day they eat per the way check the food they eat and not to get so much in the 3 per now. Where would they bring out things at least we believe say people for the support the way for speak truth to power. If we were there abroad, always they say this, where they at least other parts in the world, we don't see development, where they feel development, they sleep inside development. If we don't raise we voice them, we not hold government accountable. Trust me, one day, someday, posterity will judge me. God will ask me, say, look, you were in so part in the world. You live on a 24-hour light, water, even though they not get mountain or hill, but they get water, they get light. Why you not be raise your voice for make you make that same changes they happen as Sierra Leone? What you get Ministry of Agriculture for? Is it not for help the farmers them? That make what you dey give what you dey give the lecturer. So I dey shake me head. I say Triple, you really deserve for teach now. That they will minister or whatever, they will MDs, they will get. Let them learn from you. Yeah. So if we sit down, they begin to defend, they can pain me something and the. Now go to my last point. Why I want for make talk on Tripoli. Now the statement where Lion and Slim make now AYV. He say they go crush people them if they say they go want for do anything. That's now one big unfortunate statement when he said they joined the voice of Abdul Fatoma, I think Andrew Lavali. Although in that interview they would then get on AYV on Sunday, Lavali me they use I call him. They use diplomacy for talk say Laelo and Slima statement was unfortunate. But I'll be proud of Abdul Fatoma. It make him very clear. He said that's an unfortunate statement for coming from a minister, a current city minister for that matter. Now you they talk say them they crush people them. Something like for say now violence, now warden at the country. You can't say short a statement. Besides, you are part of the security sector in the country. Yeah, you they make them kind of statement then they. Yeah, it's absolutely not correct. It's wrong. No matter what in and call. And you see, for becoming a leader, you should have the power, the ability for influence the minds and action of others where they follow you. If you not get that ability, then you cannot become a leader. Not for threatening people then. It's not done. So for me, I join the voices of all the one that we condemn that statement that did because it was between Lawrence Lima and the spokesperson of APC. What is that this guy name? Now they made in a radio station. Yes, that was the guy. Yeah. So most times, if we tell them people you are true, when they go see them, if they listen the programs or releasing them, they will not say, I form na this side, not for don't talk this. But when they say some of the things that we wrong, we go come, we support them, we will jubilate for them. As if they are, they are God, they will never make a mistake. So for me, I join my voice to every Sierra Leonean we condemn that statement. It should not come from a city minister for that. The government should take the responsibility. They bear the highest responsibility. Now, this will be they say we don't preach on this platform almost. If this government may really want to make stability and peace then as Sierra Leone, yeah. When they don't win, therefore, we don't extend olive branch to all the opposition, which then can say they then get a job, but at least open that platform, let people and get freedom of speech, freedom of association. Well, when people then begin talk, they will say, "Oh, na politics, na this, na that," and that's what has killed the development of Sierra Leone. Now they say that they invest. If the president is the way he can say content provided if they give him, they can invest on agriculture. The free quality education, you not still maintain, you not still straight, you not structure well it. You still say they can go for agriculture. You see, this now this one they say. Sierra Leone as a country, we have never got a national development plan devoid from politics. So every president say take you go. Now this, if you watch them, let me say if you win, right? This free quality education, have we got it to the peak we want it? We want it? No. So that will go, then they go left as uncompleted project. We will focus on agriculture. We go halfway, we left and they no, that's not should be like that. If you did like when they not focus on this education, they should have made it perfect. Even if you not get 100% correct, but they reach a passing mark wherein structures and system they go there in place where no government no they can't change them. This na the thing they want for passing a parliament. Say, well, why they do this so? Governments in government, and it should be a law. And I tell people, and this free quality education is not sustainable. I always they say this thing. Somebody may they say how? It's not a law in Sierra Leone that it should be. We have free quality education. No, it has never been passed in parliament. Say this is a law in parliament being passed, seal and settled. That government in government how we can continue free quality education. It's a lie. It's not there. If anybody gets them and they follow the comment, una give me una tag me the say they don't pass an parliament na law. It's not a law, so it's not sustainable. Yeah, it's not going to be sustainable no matter what you talk. One day, someday, they go down the drain again. The strategies they way for make and sustainable, it's still not there. The finance for sustainable is still not there. Now, this same free quality education, we see them the tax people, them ministers, and let them contribute for sustainable. Like seriously, a whole government project. But again, come back to we feel like you always say this because governments or political parties they know they do research that I make 90% or 99% of them project them. If they fail, it's not sustainable. Now for just score political goal at the end of the day, we see them make it die out. Sarful. Party in, party out. Even the one where them pass in a parliament as law, they're not able for sustain. Now, go back to the previous government before I round up Tripoli. Then pass this child, what they call under five business. Then pass as law. Say we forget under five when he pick away born or waiting and call from 0 to 5 years. How this government improve on that project? Nothing. In fact, say then they come also they don't improve anything sustainable at that particular department. When you want to talk this now, they go say no to the government start them. So how Sierra Leone go before? Government in, government out, then gets the own plan, then gets the own agenda. At the end of the day, we people continue for die in poverty, continue for die in sickness, curable diseases they kill picking them. I can always they say this ordinary malaria, common malaria, still they kill in as alone. No ministry of health person no ever say don't say look strategize proposal or project them how they can minimize and the malaria infection. None. Ask anyone per the minister they are from the chief minister take hand on anything when they talk they say free quality education. Apart from that, nothing else. Hell, God help that country. Now that I'm your take, sir. Thank you very seriously, sir.
Thank you very much, Alpha. I want to say thanks to Alpha for Ion submission today. It's Saturday, and if you don't follow we, you know how we do on Saturdays. Everything goes. A lot of things can happen during the week. And something can they will go lay on a table. Something they will not go able lay. But maybe a pass na your radar. But I forget a few more people before we go open the phone line. They come. Ayana Salon. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Love Ginging Tony. There we are. Waiting on you take for this week. Welcome on board, Tony Tue Jones. You get the platform.
Yes, Abraham. Thanks for having me. Kusha and Cabo Fambulem. I'll go begin with the redenomination with the bank governor. If you ask me if it may timely for make we redenominate with money law, we reduce the 3 zeros for my money. I go tell you say it not me timely because there are other priorities who for don't use that resources they pan. Just like we know say the flagship project of the government now education and power supply, good health and everything. They should have used that resources the way they use. Because waiting with them for see, actually serve its purpose. The whole process defeats itself because then tell you say, oh, now the money may big, they go inside your wallet, where you go collect money, you will get a big bag where they go, they raise, security threats because people then go no see just collect money, then kind of things. I feel say when you look the supply of the money where they actually inject to the market was very limited. So it creates that suspicion in at the market. So the business people, and once you begin create suspicion at the marketplace, you definitely they give rise to the black market. It's like they give the black market more energy, especially the people that way they regulate currency, because basically with fiscal policies and what we get as a loan able for regulate we financial, we financial services. In a sense, what I mean by that, if I not say the prices or the demand of supply na salon not based on waiting the bank governor they tell you, because if I feel say for me, I'm not the crying down, he's a professor. But most of the things that we try to implement now in theory, incessant read them. It they reference say, oh, they do in Venezuela, they do in Ghana. But I don't know if you go back and reflect and look waiting the effect when they country they roll back their denomination a day. For their denomination go be successful, there's so many things that we get for put in place, so many things that we have a cash trapped economy wherein money not the flow. We have an economy wherein we know the exports. So we know they get foreign exchange when they for able for help for cushion the pressure wherein we will get a favorable balance of payments or a favorable balance of trade. Everything what we dey eat most times now import with the important. So we spend more money than which we they get. So there's a deficit what we get. There in favorable payments what they get balance of payments here. So I feel said the bank governor waiting for them be in focus now for drive e-commerce. What I mean by that? We try for see how we can able for make we economy we are in now less paper in circulation we are in people are not going to do more cash transactions. Like for example, for me, for example, I dey use Afro International right now. I get an app where they put it on my phone. I dey receive money. I not even go now na any place or area outlets for who collect money. I see I get the code, I just dey put on the app, immediately it download, then give me my money, the money go me virtual cash go na my wallet. If I want to transfer anybody I want for papers in Adaxa, you dey use AfriCell or you dey use Airtel. You say I dey use I get AfriCell, I get Airtel money. I get Airtel money, I get Orange money. I pay them. So basically it's virtual transaction. I know they carry money. So I feel say waiting with for the Fed for do, especially in this 21st century, as in way na professor or whatever, if for help for cushion away we are in or provide support for the companies that way they do e-commerce in a salon, especially for Afro International, Afri Money and Orange. You understand? So you help for cushion that pressure. So if I not say somebody go take money, sir, because there are certain outlets the way you not need for go take your money. Once they get your number, then they call you. You get Afri Money or you get Orange Money. They send you money direct for you. You not even move. You understand? It makes it seamless and easy and so like so because this is technology age. We're not going to fed for say, okay, we got for go print money. For every time you go print money, now expense, now money and now taxpayers' money. Even now, mobile companies now, there is eSIM now. That tells you how everybody they try for to see where you the cut cost. Now some phones that they now we they use, they use physical SIM. Now eSIM. All the costs that they don't eradicate the cost that they. I feel say that should have been the focus of the bank governor. How you can empower. And then at one point they say, oh, a certain amount of money missing. Yes, it get for missing because what you make when you look at the kind of market we get right now, you get so many outlets where they do e-commerce. You drive no yourself within that Lumley from police station till reach Juba Bridge. There are more than 20 outlets where they do Afro Money, where they do Ria, where they do MoneyGram, where they do this. And those businesses, you get to understand, say, the transactions, they never forget physical cash. You understand? Where then they rely on. So once you say you eject money in circulation, where short, because you want to get rid of the old money, and then the money will not eject now the market, will not push out to the market, that will not supply. In way, I mean, it creates shortages where you know for able to serve the market. So we go back to the old currency what they use. So you not serve a purpose. I feel say this old denominational waste. It's a serious waste, and I don't know if the president not they get a review meeting with the bank governor and see how they can able to see how they can turn things around. But for basically that whole thing there, it was not a success. I'm not saying a success story because what thing we see they happen. Most of the time when you go collect money, people they want to go take physical cash. Then they give them back the old money, which means they either don't keep the new notes or do not put boku new currency outside. So we still they use. So that make you find out say for me, if we they use this old currency, say December, it's a slap on their face because that not to mean that to be the projection. That not to waiting until we initially then face amount say then go get 3 months with this money by this March. This money for don't come out, not for the even user again. You understand what I mean? But what would they see? We see more of the old notes in circulation than the new notes. And even the new notes for people that were on ground, me don't go on ground, I just come alone. The new notes were in count, it's not better at all. Especially the 20, that 20,000 no notes. In the data you pocket, they fit for pull so you don't check. I don't know which kind of material where they use or whatever thing where they use, but it really, really a questionable the type of material where they use for make that 20,000 because now the highest denomination and it's so easy for lecture. And then the other area where I want to talk about now this power, when we talk about bad lights, because now that bad lights in us, in the slogan running a free tongue. You take out from Hamilton, not for say lights, not the kind of free tongue. Then I will tell you for free me not the base me submission on perception. I the base me submission on reality because I've been there. I mean, I don't, I dey sleep Hamilton, I dey sleep Lumley, I dey sleep Waterloo, I dey sleep Campbell Streets. You understand? So I know exactly all how the light pattern dey in Freetown. The light basically within Freetown, not for say Freetown not the get lights. Majority of the areas they all the get lights, but because of the congestion and because of the appliances where people they get certain areas the day, if you ask, they will tell you say during the day, like the afternoon where people don't go work, the light steady, then they get full voltage. Certain areas as net council, it's like people that the more people that they put the load, more AC or more appliances, you see the light will just drop. It will go and collect a lonely gas fee for one. Light will go off the pass within an hour, it will go past 4 times. And then they say, go MPA, they tell you, or EDSA, they say, then they distribute the lights. But waiting at the problem what they say is, this 21st century, you forget, just like how telecom, the mobile company, they know if one pole day, it gets call drops or it gets overload. The mobile company they know say that particular pole they waiting at with by force, where they by 34 hospital, they get serious overload. What you they do? Either you can create more meter them or transformer out there they call them. So you go able for curtail the load, for get that spreading. I feel say the research and planning unit of EXA or MPI they call them get a big role for play. Not all people then therefore they get suffer this effect. They should be on top of their game. How you to be on top of your game? Get lines the way they establish. Deadline not so deadline the way if you say, oh wait, call and say first you know they would agree. This line should be 24 hours. Wherein if you call, you get problem. Let's say are they Waterloo, for example. The lights are Waterloo, they go and carry the trip. And for able for call the hotline and tell me say, okay, who say they call from? And they call from Whitestone. And I saw the lights in the and then for able for take those information and then work on then information and if possible increase on the transformer or whatever we did it. You know, now more money to them because it's very difficult and frustrating when you get money now you meter or you get appliances where you don't pull almost million number. Look how things strong and at the country, their lights will go and can they go, it's just they go normal abruptly. There's one house within our salo where nobody no move to go there. They don't done this house, very nice, one flat house. The house still don't know my bone. And nobody know this idea. Just because of bad lights. This light when they say bad lights, bad lights. So they really, really, really ETSA get a rule with for play, just like a guma. When we pump open na babadori, you dey see the amount of water where they waste. People they pipe this they leak and this they leak and not for saying a small leak they leak. Water they ooze out like how many gallons within an hour, and you get certain areas in the we not even get water. You understand? So me feel say the problem will we get na saloon, not to foresee people then they don't know the solution to the problem. It's just people are just being what's not the adjective I will use. People are not just care that carefree mentality are not care. You understand? Because if you they work on some side, you they work on a treat, you dey see what's the waste. At least Una for put modalities in place, how una go able for put controls, for let them pipe in the way they will waste so, now una control the wastage. Even the light wey they complain about. That's not the major problem wey they get. So aside and the way people they go connect no more, they don't even call EDSA. I feel say they therefore get a system in place wherein not to almost for interfere with the lights. I'm telling you, that not to say now hidden secret. If they say people that they interfere with the lights, now because of that situation, and because for example, I buy meter from my auntie na Leicester. They tell me say if the excuse me, if I want to get the meter within 2 days or 3 days, I for pay 2,600,000. That I go get some. If I pay because I pay Monday, which means by Wednesday they can install. So I pay the 2,600,000. But if I want to get the meter within a month or within that period where not specific, then at 2 million I go pay. I don't go pay the 2.6 million. Now me they expect say by Wednesday the light for Duncan. What did they tell me say, oh, the meter they will then get no commission. I said, wait, I don't understand what you just talk about no commission. Now tell me say if I can't pay 2 and the funny thing, now one man at Cambo Street, I know call it tribe. Now are the sole agents now way. Now they import, then they bring the meter. So if you want your meter, now they go back. Like Cambo Street, now I can pay. Now from where I don't pay from before the first. Up till now, they don't even give me the meter. They tell me say, oh, up to the 10, then they begin commission the meter, then they can put an adios. Imagine you tell me say for pay 2.6 million. Where they expect say within 3 days, then for them go install the meter that use. Tell the council, no meter, no. So most of them things that they have to say, they all they mitigate to make some people then they interfere with the lights. Because imagine if somebody gets somebody when a quack electrician, where you know get job, say he get small idea, he then they go take that meter because the guy say if you want the meter, they go now. But if that 5 units where they inside the meter done, una know they for support. So somebody where they when a quack, so when I go take a number, they can't install her. He can't install her fine, no, not install her fine. No. At the end of the day, when problem car, then they cause all them problems there what they see. So then SSF therefore be very, very effective and efficient in delivering the services. Because how you go tell me say after in 2 days you go pay you go give me meter, then it don't pass 1 week, I don't even get the meter. And then areas then they where they get bad lights, people then they call, people then they report. Before that you go, you read the NRA man or the EDSA man, they lie in a radio. It's so frustrating where you know the reality, you don't go on ground, you don't see what they happen. Then somebody then a radio, they lie. You know, it for tell big man say they lie, but it they lie in the sense where people they apply say they born, people they host and they born. Bad light or whatever they call them, they cause a lot of damage now people they host. I feel say they get forget the research and planning units where they get. Because one thing where unique in a salon, anything where you raise where you raise points on say this, oh it ain't a book. Look at yourself, it ain't a paper, black and white. When it comes to the black and white, and when it comes to the established, most of those units, then those departments, but they are not effective just because nobody cares. Nobody in their salary not based on the KPIs. Because if your salary based on your key performance indicators, when for deliver, you service them. I feel say some man they sit up. Now make the private sector always they do better than the public. Because the private sector where you can work, you know exactly what you can do. You know exactly that this is the pay for now, this is the can pay for. You get deadlines. But most of the times, especially with public organization, with institutions, the organize, most of them not get deadlines. They not get deadlines. We make they suffer the effects, But trust me, the denomination side and office saying that it's success. It's a big slap and it defeats the purpose because still we they carry big money, except for only we where they do virtual. You understand? And other people. I feel say the strength right now for make them go empower the e-commerce, make them get more POS. That is point of sales, what they call them machine away where at least if I get money, I want buy now, I go na store. That store or I want buy gas, that store for able to get POS where easily that money on my phone, I will just send another POS and the receipt prints, there's we go show evidence say, I don't sell money, they don't pump me gas. Or if na anything I dey go do, I dey go buy grocery, transfer the money, then do. I feel say that for be the strength right now. That now for work on. We go make we save a lot of money where they print money all the time, because this money where they go print is a waste. That money they for the use for agriculture, they for the use that money they per health, they for the use per quality education, the free quality education. We still get a lot of work in progress. You know, that me take Abraham.
Thank you very much, Tony.
You're welcome.
Yeah. You know how they do it on Saturdays, eh? You dey corner, you dey go, say, they don't say that, how. Be away. And so they are on Saturdays. And so they do it on Saturdays. Oh, see if you married it if you're not in a barber shop. And if Ezekiel don't come back. You're not in a barber shop, and yes, you get the platform, sir.
Well, thank you very much for taking me call for calling me, my brother. I really appreciate. You know, as you don't know, I just now listen to Tony, my brother Tony. Welcome back to America. I dey laugh because I dey feel for Tony because I dey sense the frustration that the man in throat because Tony now one of the people way like myself too. I get the same frustration there. Where they defend this government, do they see we can walk in get with little catch them now the WhatsApp side. When they see even when Tony didn't have Freetown, they send me pictures them how Freetown bright. They send me pictures of the beach. So if in they talk so now about the light, so then they where see the man they even say, me not like for tell big man say the lie. But then I lied in the lie. That go to for tell you say, then people here, nobody they are able to hide them. Nobody not able to hide madam being in government. But couple of days ago, where waiting a with your man in himself, Fatoma talk say, Ingo give this government a failing grade in terms of human rights. Mohamed Rahman always say, Ingo take that man they say as incompetent grader or incompetent instructor. So I've been glad the way Fatoma no argued. I say, okay, you say me na incompetent because now they get Rahman in you know they hire them for all the big English. Now the problem is even the Vuvuzela them work in Canada and Syria. You know they say anything about this man or this government. When they say not say they sit down in a Freetown, then they sweat right now outside and sit down because light no day. Freetown hot like oven. Then they sweat outside and sit down, light no day. Then they will drink colata, but they will still tell you say light day. They will still tell you say things are okay. I protect this one. Marabi is so lost about the affairs of this country. Even if they put a GPS they will fail Abusaidi. That's how lost the guy is. He not get no clue. Video the way the man sit down talk say, he not get will pull this country from the problem with the NEPA. He not get will save them. Any other country in the world, that president is for resign. We see what happened in England. I don't know with the lady what's the country named by Australia and they resign. Now this with white people and then they resign if they're not a team don't tranga. The name will deliver to the people then they resign, then they go. The other person self can't try. But yet Madabia will not vote for them back for another 5 years. But now then they tell you say we will take over. Now what's up for the do better? If we not be the do better for worst person, really? When I take power, for all on be the thing say, so long we not go sit down angry belly, angry boku. But let's not be the 600,000. For might not be the side so. Petrol not be the 22,000. So how now wanna they do well? Because then they talk about Ebola or Corona. Guinea not be get Corona. Why Guinea they do so well? Ghana not been get corona. Gambia not been get corona. Nigeria not been get corona. Na Salono not been get corona. Corona then they get better. We for they do well now. We for the athletes they try for do something. But then Gaia they need to do they completely then at the defensive side. As soon as you begin, then they attack you. Either they use English word then for you, then tell you something else, then tell you that then they try to push you off completely out. But this is sad. We should not with watch them guy. I talk and I today. Guinea. Even West Sierra Leone be there in a war. When Guinea not get the war, now we and Liberia get war. We come under that war, they will money be still value past Guinea the young. Now only in the history of Sierra Leone, only under Mother Bio in government, now in Guinea can pass free. If you bring that out back, then we find where would they tell you say, oh no, now this time happen, now this time happen, no better step way. That this then they do. You see, for accept say, you know what? We don't put all. What it will be the think, will be the outside, not who can meet. Elephant head not to picking road pass you total. Will not be no because we be the see where JJ Safari be the act like saying that he write the book of accounting or na he write the book of economics. JJ Safari been get all kind name. It is sit down, it is laugh, it is call APC the all kind name. I mean watch do the net in the 2017, 2018, where they call all kind name. It is sit down like say they on a fund they wake go na AYD. Where it explain what it go do with the economy of Sierra Leone. We say APC don't put you in. What it laugh. It talk about this bread and butter. It talk. In fact, now here this man said be the sit on that show day. Here that guy will be the spokesperson for NGC. What not to wait until that crow guy we been get that radio 98.5. I remember that show. We been get what be the host 98.5 long time ago during the war. What's the man in himself? Now they be the NGC recently. Julius Spencer. I remember that day. He and Julius Spencer they sit down na AYV. Then they talk about APC. In they pull all kind of then they laugh. Then they talk like say if either one pandemic, whether na NGC or SLPP, if they can't take over. Salon don't bloom. Now look who's out sit down. Guinea, where one day the money, even when we go into the hardest difficulty, when at almost 20-year war, we come out of that war, the money be still value. Past Guinea, you know. Now I'm a man, I take over, so less than 3 years. Look who's side they and look who's side we did. But then people here they accept. When you tell them, look, this part is dumb, but I be like say, you don't know about this guy. I don't know if this guy na in blood relative. Why in the question this guy? Why in the ask this guy? Like say he just sit down no more. They can't give information. Now the same way Mother Bio sit down, where you know inquire, look a one-known president, a scammer. A scammer come from Ghana or Nigeria. He can't scam you. He take fake award. He give you. You take picture with them. This year, then guy they in danger with president. They just go pull us on side and say, look, this man an investor. This he can't be lost. Then he go do this. He go do this. He even get award for you. They announce say that Mother Bio, na man of Africa. Really? Who's that Mother? That's not the funniest part. For their award of man of Africa. Then Tina back na a podium and take a photo shoot and take a picture with them with that fake award day. The man can't dupe them. And they understand say some bank they don't give money and other people they don't even begin the deposit. It take no money than they but yet when salon person come for can invest work it also banana like you they all can have time. We anyway Jagabami they talk about that the other day. Instead not to come on hard time they give. But yet when that Nigerian guy come when I scammer, they cannot go all the way to the president in office. They go even give the president a fake award. Now talk about this way. Gendema, whatever that happened, we don't know what the hell that place was I did. But now the thing is how they talk. I remember when this government first take over, When at that part, I immediately first. Where this thing happen? Where Madam you fly go there, go na Guinea. The same Mohamed Rahman Suare again, I get the big mouth. Now I can't talk on TV say APC them in the waste time because this thing be done they happen currently. Well, we see they don't go now, so they don't settle them. It don't go happen again. Well, Mr. Rahman Suare, if you listen or any of you Google and Zella, they listen. Why again? Why this man again? Because the guy don't act like say Salona the only country where he get rapport with. They're so tight he even can with a convoy. You don't go meet him 2 now or 3 now. You don't go find him. Why all of a sudden, like say, just like what the Alpha say, then get a country with a colony to go with. So when you take over, even when you overthrow that bar, it still follow the pine footstep. Because why again? Why then guy have to go now, then go put a peg? Well, my question to the presidential guard, and people have been talk say people that go wear black, people that go kill them. Well, I guess what? When I defend people that will not get gone. Now, Guinea man and Tinapia now, what you not the wait? Guinea man and then I can do. Then they wait for una. They don't kind of actually they can showcase. They don't kind of salon they can showcase what they get. Then they wait for una. And Tina una own brother and sister then they will call say anybody will mistake. If mama go wear black, and auntie go wear black. Well, Guinea man and they write down a do. When I go help with they Guinea wear black for them. They are will wait for una. Since the thing una get what they get. Una go because una affect the ordinary Sierra Leonean. Una want mash them down, una want crush them. Like I honestly man, I the what that do. Not crush somebody who not get weapon. You get, we not get. Go crush them, Guinea man, and then they wait to then I can do the upper. By Monday, Lord return, I don't crush them. And that's no more, my brother. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Omar. Thanks to Omar for your contribution. I open the phone line. 5 calls. 5 calls. You get something for ad. If an official don't do good, then we'll just come with the chairman with his spot updates. Then we'll go left here. But your opportunity now. If you think so, you get something for ad. To all waiting, we don't talk. Something past now you read that we will not talk about. Now your opportunity now. But if we don't do well, in the next 5 minutes, we go left here. Edsa. Okay, back out Tolo. Yes, Tolo, you get 5 minutes.
Yeah. No, my contribution when Mother Biokana na power, then say they can count the biggest permine machine where they produce permine, then count the biggest one at the country. Can go na Pujero. No, I feel that then are the best people that will for be non control permine. But this na the time of permine from ever where Salon day. Permine price go high, the highest ever. Waiting happen, God knows. All of a sudden, the other time we see one old tanker, the other they load permine on a tanker. Who side in the can go waiting to happen at the country, no. Then they produce the permine as Salon, na Pujero. Then they export them. Permine, the one old country, all of inside 1 month, everything just hike. The one old country outside permine there now. I feel say they come for fix the problem na Salon. I feel say they come for fix the problem. Before that, then they export them, then they make money. They not come for solve no problem. No. What I mean, they out there yesterday, then they talk fine. Now what then come, then count, who don't count the biggest machine where they produce permine, this, that. Look how permine, look the price of permine today in a saloon. So who's help? Then help. Now then a power. When at the right time down there where they for being control the permine price now the one old country. This not something they come overseas. This way not they produce now we own country. Before that, the thing become very, very, very expensive. From 170,000 to 600,000, about 600,000 now. That's when they sell our butter. Because then they pin and then they load down a tanker, then they waiting and they do waiting and God one green knows. Pass the other time now WhatsApp or waiting. We see one old tanker go for them. But mind people will not believe. You know, Madam Bio, the biggest problem for me, like me, so one no like para. Where you take power, that military business will bring come back. The time when NPS just take power, the one whole country glad for them. But trust me, after some time, everybody hates soldier, man. Soldier rules now the country. Everybody hates them bad. Yes, we all hate them. Then when you come back na power, it bring and collect for say people and be like, no, before they come out, it's safe in time. Before they hand over, everybody be there soldier man business. It come the passport with soldier man there. Bring no, we not like them. We don't want them na power anymore. It carry the bully people there. I don't make everything people they try for do in the country and they argue people there. Then they defend that. The same thing that they do back Pakaba in time. Then defending, I make people and come up for them, bang them, pull them. Big time, yes. When at the same thing, they come back to the show. Because they always they defend, say, like, say, they're all right. APC, yeah, we all know say APC, we know what thing they can do. And the two APC, not they do no more, will make me look like them. They're not eating up again, they defend. They're all the Canadian party bad. I like you to call them chief myself. They know they argue, but as a people then they thief then tin up the argue. Tell people and say people are stupid, they don't understand. I make even the lane man at the corner, they all go come out for them. Yeah. So now that I'm your contribution.
Thank you very much, Tolo.
You're welcome.
Yes, Fufana. You get 3 minutes. What do you get for me?
Yeah, Triple A, good evening, and good evening to all listeners who listen to this radio. And please, I want Triple A, I want for Biggie Lay tell for Lima, please, because we don't area over AYB for say this election this time around. Anybody try and they crush the person. If they send the security, then they crush the person with the trial for any UK any violent form. Now we don't see the way the Guinea junta enter a salon, and we don't and don't take some partner Yenga and don't take some partner between the Guinea and Kono border. So if people say Lima is a true soldier man, because we remember the 10th of August 2022. We may see some picture then you say wear bulletproof, you go and harass people then that day. So if in area soldier man, not the Salon population where you will kill. So please we beg and let go stand for Wina Yenga. Not the Salon man they do that. They done between country and country. So now they're going to yes the security force then strong and the security the presidential guard then strong. Not for people who in the country no more. There were when in can't see far away in that younger area then they so let them go fetch for me, please. Because Lima, I don't tell what they talk the what is if they harass people, they talk any kind type of bad way able. Because I didn't have power, anybody try this, you go do this, you go do this. Now, okay, the more I didn't have power himself na Guinea, but they do so in people them. And now Guinea self in the Dumbo, I will say the inside April, I'm sorry, February next year, it hand over power back. Because you know, you don't give a get bad name, when we say govern under. But then Guinea, who has already talk for, like man, no can see power in a salon, please. Although, like we will talk so, Urut na Guinea come out. Although una salo we born, but Urut na Guinea come out. Mama say papa say. Na Guinea then come out. But please, let Lima take in presidential garden. Let them go na Yenga and that on no border. Send the tribe for sit papa away. Let them go route the Guinean soldier. Let them pull them. Please. So that message number I want help you. I want help me. Reach to Lima. Thank you very much, my brother.
Thank you very much, Fufana.
Okay.
Yes, Mohammed, what you get for me?
Yes, Triple A, yeah. As we all the talk, we start for the younger situation. Now a national security problem that we it be say if we get leaders the way we actually believe say then I will lead us and way they lead we into each and every aspect from the day where this story come out, they could have come out really and make a statement to the nation, explain exactly what's in the situation. That's the respect that you will have for the people and way they rule because they put you in position for me you able try for look after them and give them all because we then at the country the things same way the government want follow we hear and follow we know a good day in pictures a good day in then they explain them in different ways but this one is absolutely paramount because I know each and every time and all the problems and where you they get with land from a country to country, we know how far it can always go. So much of them, so many of them, they not even give them back. You know, because law not begin from the Palestinian, law not begin even from the how they call them the and then guy there and which name I go remember again, Congo, Congo and Rwanda. You go call the name Nigeria and Cameroon. You know how then disputes then they go. So for my this country come for my governance them the people who they lead we for come for can explain to we need that and we deserve that explanation. They made it a lot in the situation. And the other side we will talk about the food sustainability security. The food sustainability, I tell you back now the text, we're not ever serious about them. Where you want serious, if I dey come back and tell anybody, if somebody tell me say we get problem with food na salon, I go tell and say no, that is not true. The problem what we get, they want the people and where they do the farming for do the distribution. And you get now two things and where you for separate. You get forget the person where they do the farming, you get forget the person where they take that product they bring in at the market, you get forget the person where they take that from the person where they bring them and get a storage, you get the other person where they do the distribution. So these are the sectors them. Waiting make all the years them we will get the similar explanation even when they tell you about the Guma Valley, then build this place here for 600,000 people and where this contributed. It's the same story. If you don't get 600,000 people in New York City, then it be there for 2, 3 million people. Now the city don't expand, but nobody give an excuse or an explanation because they always get a project. If them people are, if anybody they want picking, what will happen? You they expand. So if we be sustained with self trading, we be there about 2 to 3 million people in the 80s. So whatever we get enough for we, what you don't do now, for me you able establish a structure where it be say, now if the people increase, how much you go able feed them? Probably it's the similar amount of food we still produce, but the people that don't plenty, guess what will happen? If you tell me say we will get problem with food, how about the Chinese the Vietnamese them will be say 100% then they live on rice as much as where we self they do, but they don't give explanations because then they invest so much for do this production and then do this distribution and then it reach to the last man to the man to the consumer. So if you're not getting then structures then they how will you do it? And then it come back how many times how many building them way we don't see because we inside salon now more of dry food with the save. How much dry food storage systems and way they don't build across the country? Law we see we get bully lands and some other place. Them where it be say where people and get where people do their rice production, a mechanism the way they ask the country where they buy the food from the people and store 'em. If you they see the farmer they get more money every year, you not get reason for going to the city because you're not able to give the farmer more money. The farmer they jealous somebody where they become a politician. Inside 3 4 years, you they build a beautiful mansion. You they get everything what you need in a short time. So why me go look at farming really as an option? You not give me that opportunity there for my explain that. And you there inside Europe, inside America, all other places, then they subsidize for farmers them so much. But again, we there in the habit for many we people then look at for aid and personal loans them as now that thing they progress with. I think say they're totally wrong. For example, law will look at the United States and Puerto Rico. United States, then they're very close to Puerto Rico. Now the territory, they don't give Puerto Rico so much money. Look at Puerto Rico. They. Yes, still the people are leaving Puerto Rico. They come now. Because not to aid, they able to sustain you. If you're not able to sustain yourself, it's not gonna happen. And then go continue for follow them things there over and over again. It's not working. Look at United Kingdom and Wales. Then they're very very close. You they look at all them things there. You they look if you look at us an example, but we know the land. For men, we able to depend on what thing we they do and how we they do 'em and how we they plan for the future. And we get the habit, even when we do as well as a country, as people them, we get we country we be say, what in person gets to deny they eat. It's all. I like now 1 million, 2 million. Now that make where you see somebody lost power, then they broke in a very short time because they don't prepare for the raining day. So you they see all them things you try to understand. See, even we habit. You can't sit down, you say you want to get food sustainability, you're not able to build storage there. And food, not to only rest or dry food, you get food and way it be say fresh food, like what in one of the callers them pundits they say. You get food flowers and way they come all the way from Kenya. The flower they come up from Kenya is there in a refrigeration a system. And they come in at the market. Where it reach at the market, guess what it happen? It get for be fresh, and then at the end of the day, they send them to the final person. Do we have the structures in there? If mango come on a salon, you see mango all side. If banana, you see banana, you see banana all over the place. But after then season, then they do you see them again? No, because we not even ever prepare for that. So if somebody come, they like me say, you they come for come get food security in 5 years, it's a lie. You cannot do that. You cannot do that. Look the money them where they sponsor for for the rice productions them around the country. Some of them they even under ACC investigation. Are we really serious? Are you making full of people? The 5 years where they pass so, and the 5 years will be done pass, and the other 5 years, it's not gonna come back. We picking up we born within that moment. Some of them don't 10 years already, some of them don't 15 years already. We get people them at a very young age where they succeed already in life because they get opportunities. And it come back to the point, you cannot, you know, the sit down for me, you say, you dey do certain, you cannot fatten a pig on a market day. You cannot. Tell me what you get and how you get for do am. You dey go per meetings them, you don't see that you don't promise we say, you get for solve the food and the, how they call it again, the right and the bread and butter. Bread and butter, what's the difference between bread and butter and food sustainability? I ask back that question there. So coming back to the other question, the we brother we can visit with the foreign secretary of United Kingdom. Not to the first person this we can visit with because I make people understand say now we brother and it's a pride really for we really come back home. We can move on picking the now because we country the kind way they see we like we now sometimes some people they see we like the enemies of the state. See everything we dey criticize. But they do not know that we are the greatest assets we then get. Where the brother go, even if not to 1 cent a care go, for me they no no more say is the son of the land. Somebody who born a salona in bona. Na in born this speaking here. Look how much the pride in him. But moving forward, this is not the only first big big representative we come on at UK. Tony Blair don't go. Tony Blair, he go even when he be a leader, he go back even after he not be a leader. What thing happened? In the change nothing. And even before that, this is not the first big guy big representative we go. Before we then be the come out na how they call them the European Union. Then we don't lost the market of the European Union. So what were they doing? Then they go now all the countries and where them be don't former colonize. Then they try to go create a new market. That's what the British are doing. Then they can then they recreate a new market for many them people that come, for many them go they able to get product them for go they send to them because they don't lost the market now the European Union. So this is what is happening. And the other, I don't know whether it was a secretary or African representative. I don't know it. Now one lady, we come even the time for and it's by Koroma. For me, it just come create the platform for say yes, we can do business with you now. And again, if you they can do business with me, let I know and see say I go benefit out of her. We don't benefit from all them businesses there. But my not to think we knew where they going abroad. We palm, cassava leaf, granite, not to things and we new. We go to supermarkets tonight. Today, the biggest supermarket, them then get all the things. Then where are they coming from? They're coming from other places. The salon they go so much to the UK and some of them they Canada, America. What thing we don't get out of them? The price they increase because now instead of them selling at the market, the demand and supply then I'm abroad, where the government for don't regulate and say, no, anything where they do, will get forget to self-sufficient before you begin to remove them from the country. But it's not happening. So what in the end up for happen? Now with people them they pay nearly like 600,000 leons. Where if they say 600,000 leons for a whole butter, a 5 gallon, it's as somebody where they working at the country, it's almost a 1 month salary. So how can you afford it? Don't forget about that. If you even demand by pints or whatever we then call them, how are you going to afford it if you bring all them small together for me to get a proper food? So it's absolutely expensive. And again, we are most absolutely proud from what we brought at camp. And especially in Abomi Komot, for me, a good thing now we tongue in my map working at the place there. Probably, I don't know whether which year the way but now one of the people and we facilitator, we own parents them for me them born me. So may God bless them. It was a very, very great thing. I really feel so proud of her. But when I not politicize this thing, like then get one name where they can go for the first time, for the first time, for the first time. We have so many force we're very important, we did not touch yet. And it come back to the electricity. The electricity problem where then they get in EDSA and for TIF lights, then concentrate more for more people and buy the electricity and go use them. They not concentrate how for save because now look because the electricity and the electricity nothing way ABC you get possible to produce the electricity even similar as well so people where they do farming you get uh, uh, um the uh, the copper ship, you get the ECLG. I don't know if that's not the right name. You get the solar. All them people are the people where they sell for them the the light. Na ETSA. So ETSA now then they sell the light. But what it then they forget for do instead of them only sell, then forget for secure the what it then they sell. Because even now, yeah, you they get businesses and way ABC. You get supermarkets, the way people then they go, then they go jump, then they go tip things and they come out. The way they see say the security things and we then get, then with the scanner, then people in the camp, then they run for commodity store. What you then do? Then pay for security for me then go to team up na the street, na the entrance. Where they see say even the security, people in the tip things and they put them inside the bag. What they did now before you go inside some stores, them not to the bigger stores, them more like Woodin and New York, where they can call. You get some met food and other things. Where what they do now, you bag where you they go with inside the store, you they put them outside and give you a number where you don't go buy what you they buy. Where you come then give you that. So which means then they protect the young property, then which is lawful. Because if you they thief me in different ways, you they finger out a way for thief and for can go, I go find out. So it come back to the electricity. How then they give you the electricity? Electricity, you get the voltage is the force. Nothing where they push the current na the thing where you dey burn that force the way you dey push if that force dey not enough the current dey slow down so if you get more people and where they use current where they use electricity in areas them like where Tony say certain time in the daytime you dey see the current stable down the road and the evening or at night because so many the power don't go up you get people and where they use more electricity guess what happen the voltage they begin to slow down because you get more people where they pick up the current and some of their systems there, they're not even some of them way they go bad, way especially like motor, them way motor they go bad, they increase in amperage, and the amperage is the amount of the amount of current where you product the bone. So if the thing they go bad, if the thing where it go bad, it pull more voltage and more current. At the end of the day, it drop the voltage. So all that thing you see say they begin to get voltage drop from one place to another, and then it become lesser and lesser and lesser because more people in the user. So all that is a situation wherein you can forget uh, 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 um, a transformer where go able for me enhance for me pull more for me able sustain them people in it. So they're not able get yes. All right, thank you very much, my brother. I get all right, thank you very much. Okay,
Yeah,
so
just make a
the
closing
problem
on that. Yeah.
all right. The problem where we get all, then they concentrate more on the electricity, even the voltage, even the wire them where they run the electricity. They not even think about them because wire it just feel like voltage and current. Electricity just kind like a pump, a water pump. The more the pipe, the bigger the more the water they run. If you get small pipe, what it happen? It increase in current, where it increase in that voltage, they burn. So you get all the aspect and the way they make Unable get so much, we go able to make them say, oh, we'll get them, but Unable deliver them. Because they need to get the numbers in straight. So I thank you very much for everything. I know say I don't hold the line for too long. And thanks again.
All right, thank you very much, Mohammed. Like repeat and back. Everybody will make statements and not an endorsement of share network, but we created a platform so that everybody in voice go be heard. I don't ever remember self if Oda Manchester then play Liverpool. I never remember. Thank you for all the sports updates. Well, you see, the chairman be done ready for Camp Bluff. Now, I'm boss must see where una wait. With the cut and shot. I tire, but they left here. We don't try. Almost 5 hours. Thank you. If you don't do from the start till so. Or if you meet we in a road, you don't hang gamte, or you don't go, you don't come, you still meet we here. We there, Nayana Salon. On Saturdays, this is how we do. Make sure say you rest for the weekend. If you don't watch Explore with 888, go make you go watch them. Subscribe to the channel, yeah? Subscribe to them. You want to know more about how the AAA Healthy Harvest mixed farm they go? Go watch the video and come back. Can't tell me say AAA. Jabiu brother, self they ask for. If you want, then in the way we pin at the comment, you can contact them. I make go back say me go watch replay. I say I no remember I say replay. I need remember self. Pour Maman Dumbe, how say count? Una God. Una. Nah, sorry, Una. I left you, boo. Enjoy your weekend. Make sure you rest. And we'll go there back on Monday. Tomorrow we'll join AYV on Sunday. Ayana Salon. People lady say, tata.